How to buy a horse bridle. Most horse bridles are adjustable, and you don't have to worry about size when buying one unless you're buying a draft horse or pony. Here are some buying tips. You will need a feed and tackle shop, a computer with internet access, a snaffle bridle, a dressage bridle, a western bridle, and a brow band. Optional: bulletin boards and classified ads. Step 1. Go to a feed and tackle shop or check the internet if you're in the market for a new horse bridle. As an alternative, check bulletin boards or classified ads for used bridles. If you opt for a used bridle, make sure the stitching is tight. Step 2. Choose a standard snaffle bridle if you ride English style. If your horse is difficult to control, consider a snaffle bridle with a flash nose band or drop nose. Step 3. Choose a dressage bridle if you plan to compete in dressage events. Step 4. Choose a traditional Western bridle, bosal, or mechanical hackamore bridle for Western style riding. These bridles do not have nose bands. Step 5. Make sure the brow band fits your horse's head. Brow bands can be purchased separately and fit into your existing bridle. Did you know Queen Victoria introduced the plain white bridle gown at her wedding in 1840?
How to buy a horse riding crop. Horse riding whips and crops are designed for a variety of purposes, including show jumping, dressage, cross-country, hacking, schooling, and polo. Here are some guidelines for choosing a perfect fit. You will need a horse, a crop, a dressage whip, a lunge whip, and a jockey whip. Step 1. Purchase a riding crop, a regular-sized whip, for equitation or jumping. Consider one without a strap to prevent injury to yourself. Riding crops and longer whips are used to correct faults in a horse's posture, movement, or understanding of a command. They are never used on a horse with excessive force. Step 2. Select a dressage whip if you will be riding in dressage competitions. This whip is longer than a crop. Step 3. Select a lunge whip if you want a whip that can be cracked in the air to draw the horse's attention. This long whip is used on the ground and never comes in contact with the horse. Step 4. Select a jockey's whip if you will be racing your horse. This whip is wider at the end than other whips and makes a lot of noise when it comes in contact with the horse. Like other whips, however, it does not hurt the horse. Did you know? Riding crops and other riding whips are made of a flexible material such as fiberglass and coated with leather.
How to buy a horse saddle. Buying a saddle for your horse is next in importance only to buying the horse. Here are some guidelines to keep in mind. You will need a selection of saddle types, a construction material, a used or new saddle, and a proper fit. Optional: an experienced horse person and a return policy. Step 1. Decide which type of saddle you need. Besides English and Western saddles, there are hunt seat saddles, dressage saddles, and flat racing saddles to choose from. Consult an experienced horse person if you are not used to purchasing saddles. Step 2. Decide on whether you want a leather or synthetic saddle. Leather is traditional, but you have to be careful to select good quality material. Synthetic saddles are lightweight and easy to clean. Step 3. Decide whether you want a new or used saddle. Many tack shops sell used saddles on consignment. Make sure the saddle comes with a return policy, whether it is new or used. Step 4. Make sure the saddle fits the horse. Step 5. Make sure the saddle fits you. If it doesn't, it will be uncomfortable to ride in and it will throw you out of position. Did you know? The Western saddle was adapted from a design invented by the Moors of North Africa.
How to buy a horse. Owning a horse is the most enjoyable if the horse matches your personal needs. Here are some tips for buying the right one. You will need a horse, a suitable temperament, a riding style, special skills, time, and a veterinarian. Optional: a calm horse. Step 1. Look for a horse with a temperament compatible with your own. Be wary of a horse that becomes agitated when approached. This can be recognized by the horse laying its ears back or kicking. If the horse is interested in being approached, it will put its ears up. If you are a nervous rider, look for a calm horse. Step 2. Select a horse that has been skilled in the sort of riding, English or Western, that you plan to do. Ask the owner to put the horse through its paces. Step 3. Try out the special skills yourself when you ride the horse. Step 4. Take your time making a decision about purchasing the horse. Visit the ranch or stable a second time to observe the horse's behavior. Step 5. Ask the owner if you can borrow the horse for a week before you make the decision to purchase. Step 6. Have the horse examined by a veterinarian who is experienced in performing pre-purchase examinations. If all has gone well at this point and the asking price is right, go ahead and buy the horse. Did you know? The average life expectancy of a domesticated horse is 25 to 30 years. How to buy horse riding boots. The type of boots you wear for horse riding depends on your riding style and the type of saddle you use. Follow these guidelines and choose the right pair for you. You will need tall boots, cowboy boots, field boots, dress boots, and paddock boots. Optional, a Western apparel store. Step 1. Select tall horse riding boots that come up to just below the knee for field, dress, and hunting styles of riding. The boot should hug your leg. Step 2. Select cowboy boots if you plan to ride in traditional Western events. These boots reach mid-calf and do not fit as snugly as English riding boots. Most Western apparel stores can fit you for cowboy boots. Step 3. Select boots with ankle lacing for use with shorter stirrups. Called field boots, these boots are used for jumping and fox hunting. Step 4. Choose a dress boot without lacing if you want a boot that is stiffer than a regular riding boot. They are higher on the outside of the knee to protect it from injury. Step 5. Select high-ankle paddock boots for pleasure riding and everyday use. They are usually available with zippers and rounded toes. Did you know? Wellington boots became fashionable after the Duke of Wellington defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815.
How to mount a horse. The first lesson you'll need to learn if you want to ride a horse is how to get on it. You will need a bridled and saddled horse and a helmet. Optional, riding boots, a helper, and a mounting block. If you're not an experienced rider, have a helper nearby who can assist you if the horse moves quickly or reacts as you're mounting it. Step 1. Make sure the horse is saddled correctly so the saddle won't slip off when you mount. If you have a mounting block, a step stool that will give you extra height, place it on the left side of the horse as close to it as possible. Step 2. Adjust the stirrups, which are the footholds on each side of the horse, so they hang low enough that your feet will fit through them comfortably once you've mounted. Approach the horse from its left side. Step 3. If you are using a mounting block, climb onto it. Face the horse's left side and take hold of the end of the reins with your left hand. With the reins in your hand, hold the saddle's horn with your left hand for more support. Place your right hand on the back of the saddle. Step 4. Stand as near to the horse as you can so you don't pull the saddle or the horse toward you and out of position as you mount. With your hands in position, put your left foot facing forward into the left stirrup. Push off your right leg as you transfer your weight to your left foot, as though you're stepping up a very high step. Step 5. Straighten your left leg in the stirrup, swinging your right foot over the horse's rear end in one smooth motion. Sit down on the saddle. Step 6. Place your right foot into the right stirrup. Adjust your position in the saddle. Take the reins in both hands and you're ready to ride. Did you know? Archaeologists have found pieces of horse bridle that date back to 3000 BCE.
How to ride a horse. Whether you're interested in Western or English-style horseback riding, some simple information can help you learn to ride a horse fast. You will need sturdy shoes with a minimal heel, long pants, a riding helmet, a horse, and appropriate gear. Optional, a mounting block, and a friend. Step 1. Dress appropriately in well-fitting, sturdy shoes with a minimal heel, long pants that are comfortable but not too loose, and a riding helmet that fits your head. Step 2. Outfit your horse with the right gear, or tack, including a bit, a bridle, a halter, reins, and a saddle. Use the appropriate saddle for your riding style. English riding requires a lightweight saddle with a shallow seat and no horn, while Western riding uses a heavy saddle with a deep seat and a horn. It's best to approach a horse at its shoulder, never approach from behind. Step 3. Holding the end of the reins in your left hand, place your left foot into the stirrup, grab the saddle's pommel or horn with your right hand, and spring upward. Swing your right leg up and over the back of the horse and land in the saddle as gently as possible. Use a mounting block or a friend to help you mount your horse as you're learning. Step 4. Sit upright in the saddle with your legs flat against the horse. Keep a straight line extending from your ear to your heel, gripping the reins only as firmly as you need to. Step 5. Squeeze the horse with both heels and say walk to start going. Keep your chin up and look forward. Move up and down in the saddle gently, staying in sync with the horse's rhythm. Once the horse is moving, relax the pressure on the reins and in your calves. Repeat to move faster. Step 6. Press your left calf into the horse to turn right and your right calf to turn left. Slow down by briefly squeezing your thighs against the horse and saying, whoa. Stop the horse by pulling back on the reins. Don't yell instructions or pull strongly on the reins, as this may cause your horse to rear back. Step 7. Hold the reins in your left hand, lean forward, grab the saddle's pommel or horn with your right, and take your feet out of the stirrups. Swing your right leg over the horse and bend your knees as you land to soften your impact and help keep your legs fresh for your next ride. Did you know? The horse that played Mr. Ed on the 1960s TV sitcom retired to a ranch in Burbank, California after the show's run ended, where his co-star Alan Young rode him every morning.
How to saddle a horse Western style. A trail ride sounds like fun, right? Put on that saddle and let's get going. You will need a horse, grooming supplies, a saddle pad, and a saddle. Step 1. Groom your horse thoroughly. Step 2. Place a saddle pad on the horse's back, being sure to cover the withers. Step 3. Place the right hand stirrup of the saddle over the saddle horn and the girth over the seat of the saddle. Step 4. Stand on the left hand side of the horse and hoist the saddle onto the horse's back. The saddle horn should be right on top of the horse's withers and the saddle should lie evenly on the saddle blanket. Step 5. Release the stirrup from the saddle horn and pull the girth down off the seat. Step 6. Sling the girth under the horse's belly, just behind its front legs. Step 7. Feed the cinch strap through the ring of the girth, and then back up. Repeat once. Step 8. Pull the strap to the left of the upper ring, and then cross over to the right. Step 9. Feed the strap behind the upper ring, and then through the ring to the front, tucking it under where it crossed itself. Step 10. Take up the slack in the cinch strap, pulling up from the bottom to fit the saddle snugly on the horse. Mount the horse and enjoy your ride. Did you know? Riders on the Pony Express got a fresh horse every 10 to 15 miles. New riders took over every 75 to 100 miles.